Let's take a look at the top myths from Fortnite Chapter 3, Season 3, starting it off with a fun one. Now, for this first myth, we're going to be testing to see if waterfalls act just like they do in Minecraft, letting you go up and down them freely without taking any fall damage. So we're going to jump on down to the bottom of this waterfall and try jumping in. It doesn't work. The waterfall kicks you out, and unfortunately, this myth has been busted. Waterfalls do not work like they do in Minecraft. Now, for our second myth, we're going to be testing to see whether moving your sapling will reset its rarity all the way back to green. Now, as you guys probably know, there is the new sapling mechanic in-game, and these saplings will, over time, as you weed them, get better and better loot until you get a mythic weapon out of them. A lot of people are nervous to move their sapling, though, and plant a new one because they think it'll reset what rarity they're currently at. So I'm here to show you guys that if you go ahead and plant it will not reset the rarity, and you will still get whatever tier you're currently at, which for me is epic loot, and that epic loot is quite amazing to get in a game. Now, for this next myth, we're going to be testing to check and see if animals can run out of fuel. Now, I know that sounds really, really weird, but as you guys can see, right above your hit point bar and the animal hit points bar, there's this little bar that just depletes as you're running around with an animal. So once this runs out, what actually happens? I don't think many of us use animals for long enough to ever figure this out. So today, we're going to be testing to see what actually happens. So now that I'm much further around the map, you guys can see that the bar is actually starting to glow a little, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen once we get all the way to 0, and I'm a little bit nervous to find out, but we are nearing there, and it's going to happen any second now. Now, it looks like we are only seconds away from this bar being finished, and I'm honestly not sure what's gonna happen. Are we just gonna get kicked off the animal? And it looks like, no, you don't get kicked off, but your companion is exhausted, and it lies down. That's amazing. So the boar has to take a rest before it can go out again. So for now, we're going to let this guy rest up, and we're going to keep going on to other myths while we let him regain his senses. At this point in the new season, most of you have probably seen the giant Peely statue that is being built over here at Rave Cave in honor of what he did during the live event. But my question for this is, can you break it? I know, it doesn't sound very nice to Peely, but it's still something that we need to figure out. So let's go ahead and test this. Now, the majority of these types of statues in Fortnite are always indestructible, but for some reason, I've got a feeling that we are going to be able to break Peely. So let's start it off with the pickaxe, and it looks like no, you cannot break it with the pickaxe, but the second we pull out a build, it instantly lights up that yellow color, and you know what this means. You can destroy the Peely statue just by placing a build on it. It's incredibly sad and disrespectful to Peely. So Fortnite, remove this from the game so that we can have our respect paid to Peely without it getting destroyed. Now, for this next myth, we're going to see if your pet animal can actually die to zone. Now, obviously, nobody would want this to happen. So can it actually happen? If nobody wants it to happen, will it happen? And it looks like I might die before my pet, but yes, unfortunately, they can. And oh, that is so sad. The animation got stuck, and they're just stuck between realities of death and alive, and there he goes. That is, wow, that is disturbing. Now, for this next myth, we're going to be trying to see if it is possible to get down to the 0 point in-game, and my best thought is to use a car and try and sink down, and we almost got there. That was actually way closer than I thought we would get. Now, the 0 point is obviously stuck underneath the ocean right now, so you cannot swim down to it, but my thought is we could use a car, yet unfortunately, it kicks you out before you get there. Now, for this next myth, we have that momentum has been changed in Season 3, and yes, it has. As you guys can see there, I just got a ton of speed off of that glider. If you immediately start sliding off of using a glider or a shockwave grenade, you'll get a ton more speed than you used to in prior seasons. This is just a fun little fact that you can use while navigating around the map. Now, with the addition of riding animals in Fortnite, there's a ton of different myths surrounding these guys, but one of the ones that I want to show you is, can you double jump using an animal? Now, as you guys probably know, you can jump and then dismount with jump, which gives you a kind of high jump. But let's test it out where if you're full sprinting and then jump, will this make you jump incredibly high. We're going to try and jump up onto this house, which typically you wouldn't be able to do without mantling up there. But let's see if this works. We'll do our first and our second, and it sends you incredibly high. This has been confirmed. You can double jump with animals. Now, for this next myth, we're going to be seeing if the tree at Reality Falls, the reality tree, gives glider redeploy. Now, if we go ahead and jump off one of the tree branches, it does not give any glider redeploy. But if we try and go all the way to the top and jump through the very top of the tree, will it work? Now, in order to get high enough into the leaves, we're going to need to use one of these bouncy mushrooms, and let's go ahead and check it out. And it looks like, yes, you do actually get glider redeploy. Wow, I was not expecting that, but apparently there is a glider redeploy zone at the very top of the tree. So if you want a quick rotate, go ahead and hit one of those mushrooms to start flying, and you can make it all the way over to Tilted. Now that Clombos is confirmed to be dead on the map, does that mean that all of his clomberries that used to grow on the map are dead as well? Let's actually search the map for some and try and see if there are any remaining. Now, after only just a few seconds of searching, I have already come across some, and these clomberries are looking as ripe as ever. So this myth has been busted. You can still find clomberries all across the map, and I honestly think that their spawn rate has been boosted because these things are everywhere. Now that we know that clomberries are still on the map even after the death of Colombo, we have an even bigger question at present. Obviously, Colombo was the reigning wildlife on the map, so now that he's gone, can the boars harvest the clomberries in place of Colombo? Because they used to be Colombo's favorite fruit, but now can the boars steal them from him? So we're going to go ahead and try and run over them. And yes, the boars can harvest the clomberries. Now, will the boars eat the clomberries? That's the real question right here. And they will! The boars have taken the spot of Colombo and are now the king of the clomberries. Now, with the addition of the chug cannon and also riding animals in Fortnite Chapter 3, Season 3, I felt like it would be a very good combination to see if you can heal animals with a chug cannon. Now, the best way to do this is obviously to unfortunately have to damage an animal. Then we're going to go ahead and tame it so that it is obviously not trying to attack us. And now that we have done that, we're going to try and heal it with the chug splash cannon. And it doesn't work. Surprisingly enough, I thought this 100% would work, but it doesn't. It doesn't let you heal your friendly ally animals, but let's see if we try and heal an enemy one. It doesn't work on them either. So the chug cannon will not work on any type of animals, even if they are a friendly or an enemy. So now that we know that you cannot heal animals with the chug cannon, let's try and test it on a NPC. Now, obviously, we have two different types of NPCs. The first ones are the named characters, and these guys are your big shots. So over here, we have the scientist, and we'll go over and test it on him in a second. But for now, let's test it on one of the 7 guards. Down here, you can see that this is one of the guys who guards the 7 outposts. So if we go ahead and tag him up a little bit, can we heal him with it? And it turns out that no, you cannot heal the 7 guards. So now that we've busted the myth with half of the guards, let's check it out with the real guy himself, the scientist. Can we heal him if we damage him? Let's go ahead and deal some damage. And you can't heal him either. We can see right here that even if we are trying to heal him, it will not work. Now, to double check this, we're going to go ahead and crack his shield and bring him down to 0 shield. As you guys can see there, we just did that. Now, if we heal him and then we try and shoot him again, he is still whited, meaning that he did not heal at all from our chug cannon splashes, and he is not healable from the chug cannon, meaning that NPCs are immune to the healing from chug cannons. Now, for this next myth, we have the Indiana Jones boulder, which is from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, in that movie, Indiana Jones managed to outrun the boulder and escape the temple, but can we end up doing the same? Let's go ahead and break it, and obviously it's gonna knock back the opposite way, but let's give it a second to get rolling, and then let's start running. Can we beat this boulder? And yes, easily. This thing is so slow if it doesn't get a nice start. Even if we give it a chance to... Wow, never mind. It will outrun you if you give it a chance. So the boulder is deceiving at first, but it will outrun you in the end. Now, for this next myth is there are no more IO forces, guards, or literally anything IO related on the map. And this myth is surprisingly disproved. right over here next to the Logjam Lumberyard, you can actually find one of the last IO forces that is just vibing over here. He won't even fight you. He's just gone completely chill. But there is still an IO force that exists on the map. Will they eventually make a comeback one day? We'll have to wait and see. Now, for this next myth, did Fortnite lie to us about a fish that is in the game for this season? In the beginning of season trailer, in the cinematic event, we saw a fish that, if you pause right here, is right next to the 0 point. Now, this fish is called the 0 point fish, and we've seen him in prior seasons, specifically Chapter 2, Season 5, where he would let you teleport around in tiny little bursts. But if we look at this season's fishing decks, he is nowhere to be found, and you cannot catch this fish in Chapter 3, Season 3, even though he was shown in the intro trailer. Now, for our final myth, we're going to be seeing if a boar can run straight through a gas pump at a gas station, because why not? Now, let's go ahead and ram right into one of these and see if it does anything, and unfortunately, no. The boars cannot deal damage to these gas pumps, even though I would really like to see that type of explosion from a boar just running full force into it. So these have been the top myths from Fortnite Chapter 3, Season 3. If you guys did enjoy this video, then make sure to leave a like on it and make sure to subscribe to the channel, as that would help us out a ton. If there's any more myths that you want to see us do in Fortnite Chapter 3, Season 3, make sure to leave them down in the comments section down below, as we will be doing more of these throughout the season, so make sure to stay tuned to the channel for that. But for now, my name's Gummy Yoshi. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and I will see you guys in the next one.